Hey guys, give me 1 second, then I'll be ready to go. All right, let's get going here and start talking about what we're seeing out there. All right, good. All right, let's switch this around so we can get to it. Drop you there. And let's put you here. All right, so I can see everything I need to say. All right, cool. A couple things to go over. ASTS is doing a massive secondary. It's not really surprising. The stock's been on absolute fire. So I don't think anybody should really be surprised by the fact that they're doing a secondary. You know, where that puts the stock and what happens with it, it is what it is. I don't know how much lower it's actually going to go. You know, maybe 61, maybe 60. I'm not really sure, but it's definitely of interest to me. What I like with these things is just for them to get smoked on these secondaries, you know, wherever they're going to get them off, and then kind of go from there. But yeah, they have to raise capital, obviously, for what they're doing, and I don't really put it past them, you know, for anything. In regards to, is there anything else here that we really want to focus on that I think is super important about it? You know, let me go and see something here while I have everybody and see if there's some kind of level out there I really want to focus on. Just see if there's something out there that I say while I'm looking at this. I don't think there really is. 65 needs to hold. 65 goes, you have a problem. A problem or a blessing? A problem. Yeah, you're through the put wall, which is right there, which is not great. You're put wall actually dropped. It's interesting. Actually, that was the call wall, wasn't it? I'm not going to be able to leave these the same color. I was trying to be cheap and outline it in green and then shrink it down for certain things, but I'm not going to be able to do that. Well, maybe I am. Maybe I am going to be able to do that. But that's where your put wall is. And the call wall jumped all the way up to 80. So you need to really watch that here. I guess that is something that you guys should know. And then just go up here with that. And all right, perfect. That's interesting. So you're hitting that level and you're just completely, utterly rejecting from it. So yeah, that's definitely something to watch. No, I probably wouldn't go near that. These usually act as support. Maybe during the secondary, it's not going to be support. Maybe that's really the issue with it. So let's watch what happens here. But I do think there's something. I do think there's something there. So it's definitely something for me to look at. I'm interested in this trade on the long side. I have some news on some things I really want to go over that I think are super interesting. So I'm actually in this at $50. We got in down here, and I got in off a super easy pattern. And I'm going to start showing these patterns so that you guys can do it for yourself. But you see that bar right here? 1, 2, 3. I'll just show you this real quick, and then you guys can just do it yourselves. So you go there, you measure this bar. Yay. See how the wicks are what? It's got to be done on candlesticks. Wicks are what? Price rejection. All right, cool. See how 50% of the body of this bar is a wick? See how 50% of that bar closes right there? Right? 1, 2, 3. So 50% of this bar is that body. 50% of this bar is that body. 3-bar pattern. Boop. That was a real simple trade. Right? It was something I wanted. Now I wanted to be in it fundamentally, but that was it. That was the whole trade. It just means that you're getting a buying pressure no matter the color of it. Once that happened, we just got involved with it. We've been in this thing ever since. I think we're up 100. We're up what 100% on it. We've never done a darn thing with the trade. Like there's no reason to ever do anything with it. I think that these names are just beginning personally. I think you really need to still look into the drone space. I don't think people understand that you can buy a drone from the Navy faster than you can buy, like a hand grenade now. It's changed drastically once the new Secretary of Defense got into it and started modernizing things. It used to be like if you want a drone, it was like buying an F-16 or an F-35, I think they're up to now. Now it's like buying a darn hand grenade. That's how easy it is for these guys to get drones now. So I don't think people are getting that. What else is super interesting? Yeah, APP. So you have everybody defending this. I'm just going to tell you, like, what do you expect them to do? Like say, man, we got it wrong. So, these kinds of investigations and stuff like that, they take a long time. It's not like you're going to come out in a day and do something about it. Now, they're going to defend themselves. The two things that stood out to me with the statement. Number one, Google changed their policy to fit APP. I think everyone's missing that. Number two, there's a whistleblower. You don't know who that whistleblower is. You don't know if it's a C-level exec that they brought in. You don't know if it's the janitor. So, could something happen here? Yeah. Would I be wanting to get in long off the bounce? From technicals, but when you see something like that, that is people going, get me out. There's more inherent risk in here than I thought there was. I had a really nice short in this yesterday. I will let it rally and then I'll figure out where to go short again. But I would not be playing unless they come out and they're exonerated. You have to wait now. That's the only thing that ever happens with this stuff. You really have to wait. You have Tesla going to come out. I think they're going to show something like a drone today or something else, I think, right? Like today's their big day. They're going to, I don't know, he showed a propeller, or maybe he's going to show a new car, something. I don't know. I think it's today, Tuesday, right? Just watch your key levels. To me, 430 is really that key level. 450 seems like, you basically have, that shall not pass level up there, that 450, like you're bonking around in there and you're slicing and dicing it, but you're not really doing anything emphatic over it. So maybe you can chop it up for like $1 or $2 up in here. I just don't think it's worth the risk, compared to what could happen to you. So it is what it is at this point. You did bounce nicely. I had a nice trade in it, but to me, the easy money on that trade's way over. My bounce was 435, 440. That's where I was on Friday. And we got to that, 450 level. I wasn't in by that point. I was long gone. Way out of that name. I just did it off of this little move, this little juke. And then I was fortunate enough to just catch it. But by the time that this happened, I was gone. I was gone in here. So, I don't need the last couple bucks. We're just very fortunate with that trade, actually. So I don't know, man. I'd be super careful here. Super careful. Usually what this name does is it's great at trapping shorts. And then everyone gets giddy and then it rolls over and then the cycle is complete. So, but 430 is really that big level that I would be watching right in here right now. And that's really the level that I'd be paying attention to with it. I think that they're the big things that really stood out to me. That and I think you have Dell Day today. And I guess that's going pretty well, or someone's coming out and saying Dell Day is going to be a hit, or something's going on with it clearly. I don't know what the news is. There must be news on it already, but today's their special day, right? So they're going to, I think it's today, isn't it? Let me just see something here. Okay. So Dell just raised guidance ahead of their special day. So this is going to be a monster day for Dell because they haven't been raising guidance. Oh, God. Yeah, that's a huge freaking raise, man. They're doubling their growth target. Yeah, that's going to go. You're probably going to go higher on that. That's actually huge. So much for the cycle. They're doubling their target. You're probably going to go higher on this. I'm surprised that's all you got out of it. There's the move 48. I'm not really sure why you're not going higher on that. It makes zero sense. Expects annual non-diluted growth of 15% or better. For the previous target, they doubled their earnings growth. Okay. And they're going to grow 10% annually dividend. Wow, this is pretty good. And they have their special day today. So I'm really surprised that you're not higher. I really am. You should be much higher on that. Like much higher. I don't know why you're not, but whatever. More for me, I guess. Just set this. I want to watch that doji. Yes, if that breaks, I want to know it. Yeah, I don't know that you'll break it, but I want to be aware of that. You can retest, I think. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever that that's all you're going to get on them doubling revenues and doubling earnings and raising guidance. What's my volume doing? Why does nobody care? Yeah, I care. All right, let's just watch this right here. I'll add that as well. But I don't know, man. I don't know why nobody's caring. It's kind of weird. I guess they're thinking that's enough. That's not enough. All right, let's get back to it. Makes 0 sense why this isn't higher, like 0. All right, let's dance. Let's see what we get. All right, there's your put wall. Let's do this first. And so we're on the same page with it. Let's go take a look at the ES and go from there. Yeah, I don't know that there's a whole lot to say here. I mean, you all see the range. I'm not really sure what's going to be the driving force down. Is it going to be the Fed minutes? Because you don't really have anything else that's coming out that's really going to be a problem. So it's definitely something that I think is interesting. I'm not really sure what the issue is going to be there. So I think, I don't know. I didn't know that IBM launched overnight. No, I don't know why IBM did this last night. I have to look into this. If somebody knows why IBM did that last night, let me know. I don't know why they did. I'm not sure on why that happened. I'd like to know why that happened if somebody knows it. But I don't know that you have to like rush into this, but I do think you're going to start seeing some fervor in here, I guess is the best way to say it. I think you're going to start seeing a little bit of panic with the earnings growth. You start seeing Dell do moves like this. You start seeing IBM do moves like this. People are going to start thinking to themselves, what am I doing? You know, I don't know. You might want to watch this today. You know, it's really very interesting. Yardini's comment was, is there a bubble in the market? And his comment was, yeah, there's a bubble of fear. I thought that was super interesting for him to say something like that. What happened there? Did that camera go off again? Are we not bonding again? Okay. Hold on. The camera went off again. Oh, good. All right. I got another camera right here. Hold on. What do we got? We got 8 minutes. Let's see if we can bond with this camera. This one's $20. It's not 800 like the other one. Let's see what this does. I should actually record me doing this. It's actually better to watch me actually hook up things on the internet. See if we can get this going. Who's got another camera and 2 thumbs? Hold on. Hold on. I don't know if I like that camera. Like maybe I can turn it this way. It's not as junky. Is that better? I don't know. It still looks junky. And you got all kinds of glare and everything. Can I do it that way? Still got all kinds of glare. Oh, you can't even see what I'm doing. All right. Well, this is what you get. This is it. That's what you get. That's all you got. That's what we got. We're going with the $20 camera. The $800 one's acting up. So we're going to bond this way. All right. So if we look at how this stuff's going, I do think that you might want to watch this today. That's a big jump. Yeah, there you go. Now we're like a buck on that already on Dell. Like, welcome to the freaking party. It made no sense. I swear to God, there's so much information out there that people can't figure it out. That they literally can't figure this out. And so I just think it's super interesting. So I really do. I think it's super interesting. So I don't know. You know, I do. I think, and I definitely think it's something where you're going to want to watch this very, very closely. People are not going to want to start missing like the big dog names, like the big boy names, like Dell coming out and doubling revenue. I don't understand why it didn't move. You know, and it's that kind of stuff. Like, even after 26 years of doing this, like, you buy it and then you're like, is it me or is it them? Right? Like that skit on Saturday Night Live. Is it me or is it them? It's them, right? So, yeah. Let's go take a look at the volume on this again before we do it. Yeah, I mean, I don't get it. So, I just don't think that that's enough of a move. Let's see what it does here. See how the volume's picking up? What is the low? 55. I don't think you're going to see that. I really don't. Oh, I'm going to play this game. Really? Oh, you suck. How about if I just take it all? Really? Really? That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Let's scroll around. How about some more? You want that? You want that? Now what are you going to do? It's thin. Surprised it's that thin. You should be able to get up to here pretty easy. I don't get it. I think it's going to go a lot higher, but we'll see. Let's go back to the ES and let's go back to NQ now, and then we'll go from there. I'll try and take questions, guys. I didn't expect this news to hit in between all this. Clearly, the market's going to go higher on that. You know, when a company like Dell doubles its earnings growth, you know, it's telling you that these numbers are way off, way off. So you tend to move higher on that stuff. You tend to move a lot higher on that stuff, quite frankly. So I'd watch the market here, but that's definitely something to pay attention to today. And you might break out today on this. It looks to me like when some of this news started hitting that you've done nothing but just grind higher. So that's really where my head is with it. And I really think that that's what you're setting up for. I really do. That's a big deal. People don't think that's a big deal, but it is. For Dell to come out and do that is huge. I'm actually very surprised that they did it. Let's go take a look at the Qs, see what we can learn there, and see if that's the same level that we were looking at yesterday. These things are pretty hard to break, but that Dell news is bigger than people think it is. 610, still there. It's still there. So they're hard to break unless you got news, which we do have news. So we'll have to see how that goes. But that's definitely hard to break. Let's go take a look at the SPY. At the same level. 675, you're still up here. So I do think you can get there today. I mean, it's only 50 basis points. It's really not that far. I'm surprised that TMQ is still moving that way. That's pretty frothy at this point. They only got $35 million. So I am very surprised that that's moving the way that it is, but perhaps that keeps going. Yeah, I do think it's a little frothy. I really do, but there's your key levels. Oh, we'll see how that goes. But that's really big news, man. I'm really surprised you're not moving more on it. I really am. I'll take it. IREN, this is something we've been playing with for a long time. We're doing incredibly well with it. I would just say that this is a really big deal. These new contracts that they got, I just get concerned. It's one gap up doesn't bother me, but when you start getting multiple ones, yeah, it's definitely out of position for where it should be. Like this thing should have been a lot higher a long time ago. But when you start getting those like gaps over and over and over again, I bought it because the first we have a swing on in here, right? And then people didn't get the news, and so we bought it. I think 26 and change, something like that. But this kind of gap, I thought you'd build and then break out. When you start gapping and gapping, you can get exhaustive buying gaps, and then you can run into an issue. So you're going to want to watch that for sure. But it's really big news what they got. I have a couple minutes here, guys. I'm not going to have long today. So I'll go through this and we'll see what we have. But I definitely have to set up today. I have a lot going on. And I have a lot on right now, like a lot. So I really got to pay attention here. I'm not understanding that at all, like at all. Oh, let's just get to this. The Dell news is huge. I'm just going to go through these, see if they're of any interest. So, I'm not going to say Autodesk, but I'll tell you where you should be looking. I don't know if Autodesk is the one. I'll tell you what I think you should be looking at, because you brought up an A name. This thing with OpenAI yesterday and everybody thinking Adobe's dead, that's not what they thought by the end of it. So if you look at Adobe and you look at Figma today, they're actually both bidding up. So from a day perspective, John, they might make more sense to look at something like that, candidly. So, yeah, that's where my head would be with it. That's how I see them. I don't know that I'd be doing anything more than that. Looking at those names from that. Rambus, anything semis is probably going to keep going. I think the ASML names the clock names. I don't think people are getting it yet. I mean, they had these huge moves, but I still don't think people are understanding it fully. Micron looks like it's going to have some legs today. We'll see. AMD, I had a short on. I no longer have the short, but the rally from here, you probably got tons of upgrades this morning from the street, right? That's probably doing it. I haven't gotten into it yet. Let me see if I can find them real quick and see what I got here. See if I got anything on that. So, yeah, I mean, Jeffries with a $300 target price today. Morgan Stanley 246. So, I mean, I get it. It does make sense. It's a huge deal. So they're going to come out definitely. And, people that were selling from the 930 level all the way down. Yeah. So I don't know. I'd watch it today. I mean, it's definitely going to be volatile, but yeah, I get the upgrades. It's a huge deal for them. People will make fun of how they do these deals, but whatever, who cares? Let them make fun. We'll just keep trading. I'm just going to blow through this stuff unless I see something I really need to go over. Please hit the like button. TMO, a DD contract. Oh, TMQ. Yeah, I covered that. Julian. I actually could have bought this last night, like super cheap. I didn't do it. I'm like, because I looked at the terms. I'm like, okay, it's $35 million. Like, and then it was like in this area. I'm like, who cares? But apparently no one's really reading this stuff. On DNN, please don't be a penny stock. Okay. ANF. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on there with the consumer. I own this, and I do. I own this stuff, and with this, there's some stuff, real stuff going on with the consumer that's an issue. I'm really surprised that CVNA is holding up this way with CarMax coming out and what's going on out there, and AN as well. So yeah, I don't know where this goes with the consumer, but there's some real concerns there with the consumer, 100%. So I wonder how that's really going to play out. Because there's definitely some stuff there for me, with the consumer. So I can't stress that enough, that there's definitely some stuff there that's got me bothered with the consumer. So we'll see how it goes, but 100%, there's some stuff out there. And I'm on the car side of it. I think the car numbers could be a disaster. People are looking at like the Macy's and this stuff, and I don't know, man. I don't know if that's going to be the issue, but I guess maybe it will be. Nike coming out and saying what they said yesterday wasn't great. That didn't help. That's for sure. But that's Nike's issues, and maybe they're expanding those issues out. I don't know. I'm going to try to get through this all. And what I think is most important, silver and gold. Gold's a no-brainer. I've been saying it since like gold pulled back to 340. It's just an outright no-brainer. I mean, you've got countries that are looking at like defaulting, that have real problems. And what's crazy is the defaults in EU are so weird, because like France owes this country, that country owes that country. So I don't know. I actually think that we're going to see people leave the EU in our lifetime. I really do believe that. Not just the UK, but people that are actually tied to the currency. That's so interesting, because everybody thought that this thing was going to just be a monster trade, and it's just been such a huge freaking disappointment. But we'll see. Fig could be something, dude. That you have a lot. I mean, you have a lot of people that are short that, like a lot. And they were expecting the death knell yesterday, and they didn't get the death knell. Far from it, man. Far from it. So that's actually worth spending time on. Let's go take a look at this. Let me pull up one of my sources on this real quick. I'm just going to keep trying to do a lightning round. You have about 4 days to cover. I wouldn't want to be short that today. I would not be feeling good, watching how this thing's acting. But let's take a look at this, see where you're at, really. Yeah, you already bounced hard. I don't know, you might already have a lot of it worked out, but you did do the undercut here. It looks like the majority of people were getting out by last week ahead of it. You're already up $10. So, but yeah, I do think that I think that can motor. I think that and Adobe could motor today. Space phones, 100%. 100%. I'm just going to go through the names that most people are going to ask about. I use a lot of different brokers. You have to figure it out. Is that what it is? Going to be a submarine? It's Fannie Mae at the bottom. I got to be honest, man. I don't even look at it. Just wake me up when they do the deal. I don't know. IREN, I think people just do not understand that trade at all. I don't really understand. Circle 150, right? You have that call wall up here. You keep hitting it, bonking your head. It gets over. Everyone gets giddy, and then they pull it back, right? I mean, it's same superheated. Same. You're there again. How much is there? Is there a ton there? Yeah, that's a big wall, man. You keep getting pulled into it. I don't know until that starts pulling away. That's what IBM said. Thank you, Maria. Well, there you go. Someone's going to buy Claude. Someone's going to buy that for sure. It's just how we get Skynet, by the way, guys. Let's look at AVGO. It's always a fun one. That doesn't make any sense. No, it never does it? You might be done. Maybe. I don't know. Oh, you're welcome, brother. You can set levels based upon dark pools if you really know where they are. It seems inevitable, doesn't it? I don't know where that's going, man. I truly don't know where that's going. It just seems like there is no fear in this market. Like there's just none. And it's crazy because these trades are so much fun. But look at Move. Like, I don't know. With the consumer having issues with cars, should we really be this low? I don't know, man. I don't know that it should be that low. I got to jump, guys. Trade to win.